A Labour Party leader, Peter Obi, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to suspend his retreat in France and address the escalating insecurity in Nigeria. Peter Obi made the appeal in a post on X, highlighting the surge in killings and abductions, particularly in Plateau and Benue states during Tinubu's absence. His tweet reads in part, "In the 2 weeks you have been away, over 150 Nigerians have lost their lives to insecurity across Nigeria, especially in Plateau and Zamfara states. The repeated pipeline explosions in the Niger Delta further reflect a nation in distress. In the northeast, Borno state leaders are bemoaning the return of insurgency with troops and civilians being killed randomly. In the southeast, the story is the same, killings and abduction. Amid all these, the CEO of the troubling company called Nigeria is retreating far away land in France from company's headquarters. The primary duty of any government is securing the lives and property of its citizens, and one wonders the type of retreats going on in another country where peace has been secured by their leaders while blood continues to flow in our country. The fight for a better Nigeria is not about individuals. It's about ensuring that every citizen can see, feel, and benefit from the policies and decisions of those in power. I therefore like to urge Mr. President to quickly suspend whatever he is doing in France and rush home to take responsibility by addressing these disturbing issues. That is the new Nigeria that the nation seeks." I mean, that, again, is another strong opposition voice. You know, I like to amplify these sort of conversations. I mean, what are your thoughts with the two stories? I would like for you to start with Peter Obi's call for President Tinubu to return home.
I have a question for President Tinubu this morning. What is the life of one Nigerian worth to you? And how many people more will be killed that'll make you feel, oh, I need to come back home, even if just for the optics? President Tinubu has been in France all this while for his working visit, retreat, whatever he calls it. And we've been hearing people die. And all he has done is the presidency issue condemnation. So I asked him, you asked for the mandate of the people. You were the one that said you wanted to lead the country. How much people will die before you can think of coming back to the country and at least show your presence? Maybe 150 is not enough. Maybe if more people die, because that number has even grown.
Yes.
You know why? Today we're seeing in the papers, they were complaining of Benue, local government, 11 people died. So maybe if it gets to 200 or 500, that's why we say leadership is missing, and we expect better from President Tinubu. Just like we say leadership is missing. The police IG went to an area where something happened. Based on Ferdinand Duro, our journalist there, which we believe and his credibility, says that he didn't visit Bassa. He stayed in Jos and gave a speech.
Why?
So why would you do that? Why didn't you go and commiserate with people and even hear? And as a police chief, don't you know that when you get there, the people will be able to tell you one or two things and give you one or two intelligence that you can use in a military situation. We thought you going there would have been a proper reconnaissance. God, they will tell you some things, you will gather more intelligence.
Yeah.
But nothing has been done. So you can see when we say government is faltering and is failing. My question to you, President Tinubu, is how many much more people will die? Maybe you can respond to us and tell us the number of people that will die for you to say, I will leave France and come back and cut short my visit. 500, 1,000. I know your presidential aide and spokesperson will respond to me today.
All right.
But I also hope they will give me a number of the number of people that will die before you can return to Nigeria.
There's absolutely no justification as to why we're facing a crisis of this nature, and it's ongoing. It's not a single incident that happened and sanity and peace has been restored and we're healing. This is a continuing insurgency that is going on, which needs the attention of the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. He needs to be on the ground, even if it's just as a show of force, a show of confidence, to lift the morale of those officers who are putting their lives on the line to try and secure these places. It is extremely important that he now comes. It's now clear that this is not one state. This is several states that are calling out, sounding the alarm to say they are overwhelmed. But I think this would be a time for us to hear President Tinubu issue that sort of marching orders to his service chiefs to go and be on the ground at a time like this, so this can be restored.
To his service chiefs to go on the ground, really. Because we are hearing now that, the governor is saying, or telling the governor of Plateau State, telling his citizens, his residents, to take up arms now to protect themselves. I believe, like analysts have said, that is a recipe for disaster. This is the primary duty of the government. We have, employed them to protect us and secure our livelihood, really.
Peter Obi speaking with fire. That tweet captures and exemplifies the thought of so many Nigerians. The CEO of Nigeria, take Nigeria as a company, really, as a business. The CEO of Nigeria is retreating in France while his headquarters is burning. Can you rationalize that for a minute? So Rufai gave a lot of takes here, and we will look at Peter Obi's tweet as well. But I want you to watch this today, and if you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you've been following us and you've not subscribed, do so. And also recommend this channel to others too. Now, let's get into the meat of the matter. How can the president of a country be away for 2 weeks? Now, 15 days. So when Vimbai said a week, I felt, no, it's more than that. So last the tweet, yeah? There's killing in Borno State. There's killing in Plateau State. There's killing in Zamfara State. There's killing in Benue State. And the president of the nation is nowhere to be seen. In fact, even the vice president. But Nigerians are dying like flies. And he's issuing statement and condemning. We're tired of the condemnation. Do something. Before I ask the question, what is the worth of one Nigerian to you? What? I really want to ask you this question. When do you think that Bola Tinubu will come back to Nigeria? It's 15 days. He said he was going for 2 weeks. So this is 15 days, 14 days plus 1. All right? He left on the 2nd of April. Today is the 17th of April, and the president is still in France. When another man fixes their own country, make sure there's peace there. Our president goes there for a retreat. While the country that is meant to govern is actually in chaos. Governors are talking to their people now to tell them, defend yourself. With what? What are they going to defend themselves with? The insurgents, the terrorists, the bandits, they're coming with sophisticated weaponry. Are they going to use their knives and machetes? We've now become so helpless in our country because we have leaders like this who jets out. This is the impunity of the leadership that we have. As a matter of fact, they've now turned Nigeria's presidency into a retirement home. So if you cannot do the job, why did you go for it? How many more Nigerians will die before this president will leave France? Not only that, we have NSA chief, Nuhu Ribadu. You're telling us they don't know where this insurgency is coming from. This is not good enough. This is where leadership comes in and to play a key role. It's not enough for the IG to tell them to keep Oshorere's passport. You need to do work. Do work, do the job that you've been employed to do. We have to start to hold these our leaders accountable. They've had enough, fairy tale leadership kind of style where they just do whatever they like. We have to hold them accountable. Our lives matter. Listen, I keep saying this about 2027 because it's the next election that we have. Leadership matters. Election has consequences. If you don't get the right people in, you will lose your lives and your land. Look at what is happening in Benue State. It's a big example you can look at. Look at what is happening in Plateau State. It's the biggest example you can look at. Election has the consequences. Don't take it for granted. When they bribe you, don't take that money from them. Go and vote for the right people. You who they use to rig elections, these bandits they use, you are also the victim of their policies. So villages have been, rampaged now. People are sleeping in the night and they're being killed in their own homes. And we have a government. Before I said, this is where leadership falters and is failing. Our leadership is failing and faltering. I dare say to Rufai, this is not about the leadership failing and faltering. The leadership has faltered and the leadership has failed. As a matter of fact, the leadership is not existing. The leadership is not existing because if there was one, the life of one Nigerian should move the president. The day that won't happen, he should have moved back and say, you know what, yeah. As a matter of fact, the chief of defense staff should be where these things were happening. How can you sit in your city, in the place where you're having a retreat and the country? If you're the CEO of, let's say, Coca-Cola, and you know your headquarters is on fire, what would you do? Your own business and your own local business in your shop where you are, if you're at home and they tell you your shop is having an issue, will you not run away from whatever you're doing to go and fix it? Imagine you're running the country. When we say this man did not have the capacity to be our president, people were not lying. This is what capacity looks like. This is what character looks like. This is what competence looks like. When Nigerians said these people didn't have the capacity to be our leaders, whether they were the Senate president, the vice president, this is what they were talking about. It's an indictment on the presidency. It's an indictment on Tinubu. But yet, its spokespeople are telling us that it's giving strong warnings. What is the strong warning you're giving? I want to ask, where is Bola Tinubu? Bayo Nonuga, where is Bola Tinubu? Daniel Buhala, where is Bola Tinubu? Nigeria needs the attention of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the one that's meant to protect the people, is having a retreat in France, in another man's country where there's peace. For how long will this take before Bola Tinubu steps out from the shadows into at least show your face? Go there. Go there and go and see the people there. They are your people. They are Nigerians like you. They are Nigerians like the southern people. They are like Nigerians like the northern people. Go and show your face. This impunity of killings has to stop. And this is enabled by corruption anyway, by the way. How long will this last? Who is going to die next? Which village will be rampaged next? Which community will be destroyed next? Whose land will be taken next? These are the questions all these villages are asking. So if you're in the towns and in the cities and you know you're free from this, lend your voice to this thing. Don't take it for granted. They need our help right now. Let's call it out. Let's flood the internet with this message, with this content. Let everyone listen and hear it. And put pressure on this government to do something. Who knows who's going to be next? That's the question we're asking. You don't want your brother or your sister to be next. That's why you need to ask your government to do the work. There's banditry, kidnapping all over the country. 12 years of an APC government, 16 years of PDP government. This is what we've come to. A country where there's no peace. People can't travel the roads anymore. And we have a government. I dare say to Rufai again, this leadership has failed and has faltered. Indeed, just like Rufai said, I'm so sorry I'm quoting Rufai, Tinubu is the worst president, the most intolerant. in Nigerian's history so far. Where we thought Buhari failed, this one surpassed failure. What is next? Before I ask the question, what is the worth of one Nigerian to you? If you're meeting this content for the first time, like, share, and subscribe. If you've been following us, also like, share, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and recommend this content to others and recommend this channel to others. We need to make sure that we put pressure on our government to do the right thing. No more sitting down, folding our legs and letting them run the country like they think it is what they want it to be. Let them run the country the way we want them to run the country so that we can have a better life of peace, security, and safety, because this government has failed in the basic thing that is meant to do, protection of lives and properties. As always, I'll catch you up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.